Just thought I'd let you people look at that beautiful, beautiful, beautiful picture. There was no way I was going to start tonight with this face as the first thing you see. Of course I wasn't. Come on now. 21st of July, 2025. The birth of Brian Day. And what a beautiful picture that is. Look at my hair, man. You can tell I've been in a rush today. Woo! We got him. We got him. It's done. I said it last week, but it's done. How are we all feeling tonight, Manchester United fans? More importantly, how are we feeling today? Is this thing on? Brian Brigade. The Brian Brigade in full force. We magnituded it, yeah? We just yearned and we brought it. We dragged it. And here it is. And here it is. Let's go through some of these comments. Let's say hello to a few people. Ben Opuel says, Brian, done and dusted. Finally. Carl says, yep, great news. Now on to the next one. Correct. And another one. Good evening all. Hi, hi, hi. Andy, hope you're well. And it is the Brian Brigade. People smash a like on the video. The Brian Brigade has begun. It's begun. Yes. Lucas says, evening, Dan and chat. When is the Brian shirt coming down? You know my answer to that is, I want to see this third kit official. Once that's official, you better believe that's what's coming. And yes, of course, Jordan, welcome, my friend. Brian is here. Welcome, Mustafa. He is a red. Brian. Fucking phenomenal. Brian gives me King Eric vibes. And it's me, Everest, as he says there. Like and sub if you are new. Tonight is going to be a good show. We got some good things cooking tonight. And I did say from day one, this man called it. The first TikTok live I did over a month and a half ago. In fact, it's 4 weeks today since this channel's been starting. I said, everyone settle down. Everyone be calm. This guy is coming. And here he is. Jamie, hope you are well, my friend. Hope you are well. And here he is, Moxie Shun in the hizzle. Good evening, Brian Brigade and Rashford gone. Sancho on his way. It is a great day. It's a great day. What's next? Sesko squad. Can't say that very quick, can you? And Chappie, hope you are well, my friend. A little DH gate trip, yeah, Dan? I can neither confirm nor deny on that one. Right then, guys. So, before we get into the Sesko news, because I do really want to talk about that tonight, I just wanted to pay homage to this man, okay? Brentford. There's been a lot of news come out today. Brentford, apparently, United being unhappy with them. This is due to the fact that they handled the deal, the way they handled it. They wanted 70 to 75 million. There are reports that apparently Brentford wanted a Newcastle, a Spurs, even a Chelsea to come in and get this deal done over United. Now, as we are seeing with Gyökeres with Arsenal, he only wanted one team, and that was this team. That was this team. Fucking, I'm delirious. Now, let's have a quick look at something here. Now, this, for me, says everything about the man, okay? This, for me, says everything. When we talk about Manchester United players, we talk about signing the wrong players in the last 10 years. When I see this, it makes me oh so happy. Look at this. Let me get my... Here we go. So, Brian signs for United. Manchester United, blah-de-blah-de-blah. Yes, blah-de-blah-de-blah. Brian Mbuemo says, as soon as I knew there was a chance to join Manchester United, I had to take the opportunity to sign for the club of my dreams. The team whose shirt I wore growing up. My mentality is always to be better than I was yesterday. I know that I have the spirit and character to reach another level here. Yeah? Learning from Ruben Amorim and playing alongside world-class players. Well, Brian, that's a bit extreme there. Everybody told me about the environment that is being created here. Guys, remember that word. Created here. And how exciting the plans are for the future. This is a massive club with an incredible stadium, amazing fans, and we're all really determined to challenge for the biggest trophies. Love that. Fucking love that. Jason Wilcox obviously gets his 2 pence worth in and says Brian's goals and assists record in the Premier League is exceptional. His remarkable consistency has put him amongst the best and most productive players in England for the last 3 seasons. Brian's belief in our project and determination to join the club confirmed that he was the perfect fit for Manchester United and the culture that we are developing. We are delighted that we have secured another one of our primary targets ahead of the pre-season tour. The experience in the US will be the perfect opportunity for Brian to work with Ruben and his 2 new teammates as we prepare for an exciting season. I fucking love that. Okay, let me just say that. Let me say that in slow motion for you. I fucking love that. Fucking do. I'm telling you. We want players who want to play for this great club. That is the best possible start to the transfer window in the sense of getting a player who is Premier League proven and wants us and nobody else. So I thought I wanted to just start with that tonight. A nice little positive start for you. Now, as the channel tagline says, Sesko wants United. Okay? Sesko is crying out for Manchester United. Now, would this have been a different question if Arsenal would have chose him over Gyökeres? Probably so. Probably so. But Sesko, as we are all aware, has worked with Christopher Vivell. I keep saying Christopher Vivell before. Christopher Vivell, who, if you don't know, is the director of recruitment at Manchester United, worked with Sesko at Leipzig. Now, this is where it gets a little bit higgledy-piggledy about this signing. I want this signing. I think a lot of people want this signing. But there are a lot of people who want Ollie Watkins. And that is not a problem. I'm not going to sit here and moan. Absolutely fucking not. Not when we were talking 3 weeks ago about I'm not even going to say their names because it was dusty. Amorim apparently is having to be convinced about this one, though, because he prefers an experienced, proven striker. The fact that Sesko is at 22 years old, it kind of not puts him off, but it makes him second guess. Now, there's something else to this. I will go back to Sesko, don't worry, but there's something else to this. If this is true, if Amorim is taking serious considering about this guy, then will that not ring true for Nicholas Jackson as well? If he wants a proven, experienced goal scorer in the Premier League, well, Nicholas Jackson's too young then, surely. And I go back to my worries about Nicholas Jackson. Is it a case of this is a board signing, a Manchester United signing, as opposed to asking the manager what he wants? Are we looking at saving the money by utilising Garnacho to get this over the line? Because there's reports coming out today that apparently Chelsea view Jackson as the same. This is going to make you, honestly, please make sure you're all sat down for this. Please make sure you're all sat down. I don't want to be a party to injuring anybody here, right? Chelsea value Nicholas Jackson at the same amount of what Ekitike has gone for. They want 79 million. I'll say it again, just in case you didn't hear. 79 million. Chelsea, I know you're good at selling players, but surely we ain't that fucking stupid. So it's kind of like a striker merry-go-round that we find ourselves in here. Manchester United linked with 3 strikers, okay? 3 strikers, 2 of which have played in the Premier League. 1 is a very exciting up-and-coming player. Let me go through the comments before I get any further on into this. I'll go more into that in a second, Jordan. Let's get some housework sorted. Remember to sub and hit those likes. Yes, we are close to 7. Is it 7:10? I think. What are we on? 7:8. Chat. You'll have to let me know. Hopefully, Sesko is the next to be done. I hope Rasmus can learn off him. There is more on that, Jamie. There's more on that. I'll tell you more about that in a second, my friend. Remember this comment. Cunha, Bruno, and Mbeumo will solve 80% of our problems. Okay. Lucas put him in the fantasy team already. Mate, he's going to play against you on Sunday. I can't wait for this watch-along. I can't wait to watch this fucking guy put on the shirt. We are going to do that watch-along here. So if you're about, it is at 12 o'clock. Let me know. This is where we're going to do it. Paul says, Dan, a ball playing 6 is more important. Brian or Cunha can play up front. Ugarte is not it. There is news on that as well, Paul. I've got all the news tonight. Look at the notes. The notes. These notes shall set you free, my friend. Moxie says, Ineos must make sure that they now back Amorim and get in the 2 players he wants in as a bare minimum. Looking like a new goalkeeper would be a bonus. Again, news on that in a sec. Michael, big up yourself, my friend. Hope you're well. Steve says, Sesko knew we wanted him down. We tried for him last year. We've been interested in Sesko for a while. Remember that. And get Watkins in. I'm unsure about Sesko. Does divide opinion. Watkins in a number 6 is more sensible, but then the big money it will take for Sesko. Let's not dampen this. Come on. Get Watkins and Douglas Luiz or Paulinho from Bayern. I don't want Paulinho. He's 31. Don't want him. Could Jackson's name be a red herring to allow us to focus on Sesko and try and get that deal done? Steve, that's a fucking good idea. It's a fucking good point. But this is Manchester United, and we have been known to do stupid things. Paul says, Man U would be a laughing stock of world football if they brought Jackson from Chelsea. We've done worse. I'm telling you. Ridiculous. He's a 40 million player at best. I agree. Clubs think United are an easy touch for transfers. Absolutely agree. Luiz, Sesko, and a keeper. Okay, I can get on that train. Ridiculous money. United should be nowhere near that deal. That money can be spent on a much better striker. Maybe bring Weggy back with that money. I fucking loved Weghorst. I don't even mind admitting that. The value of Jackson, let's not even include him as part of our plans. We need goals. Jackson is a better player than Sesko, but not a goal scorer. Interesting take there, Akko. Interesting take. And Paul says, serious question, what has Sesko done? Just a slightly better Højlund. I don't think he is. Paul, I've got to disagree. Sesko is levels ahead of Højlund. Levels ahead. They're roughly the same age, and he has outscored him over the past few years. He levels. I'm not even joking, Paul. He's levels. Wahaha! Welcome, my friend. I hope you are well. So, David Ornstein, you beautiful, beautiful bastard, you. David Ornstein. He has been at the forefront of Manchester United transfers over the course of this window. And he has been reporting so much. He has told us, apparently, and I'll go back to Sesko, don't worry. He has come out today and said that Manchester United's main focus now is a goalkeeper, central defensive midfielder, and a striker. That, honestly, start calling me Mystic fucking Meg. Because I have been saying for the last 4 weeks, go back on the fucking videos. Go back. The last 4 weeks, I have said, once Brian is done, 3 players, striker, central midfielder, and a goalkeeper. Ladies and gentlemen, I'll get the mic up for this. I can confirm I am not on Ornstein's payroll. But your boys got it right. I've been saying this all along. That's where Manchester United can look at it as a good transfer window by sorting them signings out. Now, Sesko and Watkins, there has been conversations to be had for either, okay? And Paul, I'll come back to your point there about what Sesko's done. Wow, Michael says would rather Vardy than Sesko. Vardy's fucking nearly 38, 39. Come on, Michael. Positivity. Only watched Sesko during the Euros, and all I can remember is he wasn't that very clinical, missing easy chances. He was playing for Slovenia, though, bro. He was playing for Slovenia. Come on, let's think. He's play with good I say play with good players right now. I think he's a good signing if we get him. And yes, I am wearing the goated shirt. Look at that fucking thing of beauty. And yes, thank you, Steve. Thank you. So Paul says, sell Casemiro to Saudi, bin off Ugarte somewhere and buy Wharton from Palace for 70 million. Proper midfield that. I can say this right now, Paul. If Manchester United go in for Adam Wharton, that price that people say is 70 million will rise up to 100. It will. Manchester United will not be able to get that deal done. They really won't. Exactly, Paul. The first season of Rasmus at Man United is the average of Sesko. Rasmus missed some games and sometimes come in as a sub. Are we taking another risk? Right. Okay. Chat. Let's bring in the photos. Okay. Let's do this because, in fact, I tell you what, I want to do this as well. Let me bring him up. Rasmus. Let's get him up on Transfer Market. Rasmus, because I feel like we need to have a conversation here, chat. We need to have a conversation here about Rasmus. And I'm sorry to piss on your chips about Rasmus, but Ornstein has come out today and confirmed that he is likely to leave Manchester United. This says it all about us going for a striker. But let me get Rasmus up a second. Rasmus, right. Let's get the stats. Let's get the statty stats. Okie dokie. Perfect. Fantastico. Right, here we go. Let me just zoom that bad boy in because it doesn't always show as big for you, lovely people. Right. Let me share the screen. Allow me to share the screen with you people. with you people. Here we go. Here we go. Look at this, right? This is Rasmus Højlund. Let me zoom that in a bit more. Let me zoom it in a bit. I only want to zoom in on the most important thing. This is Rasmus Højlund. 26 goals in 95 appearances for Manchester United. 10 goals in 34 for Atalanta. 5 in FC Copenhagen colours. And then the rest, of course, are youth and youngsters. Okay? Okay, here we go. Here we go. I had to show you that. We'll go through it one more time because I want there to be complete clarity here. 26 for United in 95, 6 assists. 10 in 34 for Atalanta and 4 assists. 5 in 32. And I tell you what, let's just go. 22 years old. He's actually older. He's older than Sesko. Older than Sesko. Let me bring this up for you, beautiful people, because we've got to 9.99. Is that his transfer value? We'd be lucky if we fucking get it right. Let me bring this up for you. So this is Sesko's stats, and I have got Ollie Watkins as well because you know me. I like to come with stats. I like to come prepared, so I'm not sat here just rabbiting on about what is or what could be. Benjamin Sesko. Same age. In fact, slightly younger. Right? Plays primarily as a centre forward. 39 in 87 for Leipzig. 29 in 79 for Salzburg. 22 in, 44 for Liefering. I'm telling you now, guys, we cannot sit here and say that Sesko is a bigger risk than Rasmus. I respect your opinions, okay? And you know that. I'm always going to listen to your opinions. And you're probably going to put some really good points in there. And I hope you do so we can talk this through. But I can't have people saying that Sesko is worse than Højlund. I can't have people saying that. It just doesn't make sense to me. Let's have a look at the comment. Let's have a look at the comments. There we go. It says, Vardy can still outscore Rasmus. Vardy is old enough to be Sesko's dad. I don't get why he gets hate. He's not the best passing, but he's got tackling. Bruno next to him and play the balls for Brian. And Cunha and Sesko could be great. Right, let's have a look. I'm going to come back to that comment, Andy. I'm going to start it and come back to it. I'm all for chucking Maguire up front. He will get more goals than Rasmus or Sesko. Paul, come on. Wahaha, what are you saying? Who's better? Seems like we're looking for Mateta from Palace. Nah, Subaru, we're not going to get Mateta. And Lucas says, 100% agree, Dan. Can't judge him just playing for Slovenia, but I do remember him missing when he was 1-on-1 versus Portugal. You can't miss them chances in the Prem, especially for a team like United. That's what we've been used to for the last few years. Right, so hang on. Here we go. Troopy and Son Lennon, welcome back. Dan, Rasmus wouldn't get a game with Cobb Ramblers, League of Ireland. Yeah, I agree. I absolutely agree. Is it possible to be worse than Rasmus? Definitely. Absolutely. 49 viewers, but only 23 likes. Let's get those likes up and let's get the subs. If you're new, by the way, people, Sesko is involved in a goal in every other game he plays, Dan. Okay. That's a good thing. He's 22. He's still learning his trade. Come on. And he uses his head. Yes, he does. He better leave. Wahaha. I think we're talking about the Rasmus news. So, look, guys, this is what I wanted to discuss about Sesko. Now, I'm not just going to do Sesko here because, as you know, I always come prepared. So here we have Watkins stats. Now, this is why, before I bring them up, this is why I've done this. I've done this for a reason, okay? We've got two sides of the coin here. We've got two plans. That's 4. 2 plans here. So Sesko, to me, is a signing you bring in, and he is the guy that you allow to develop, score the goals, and be that striker, that main striker for the next 10 years. That is the Sesko signing in a nutshell. The Watkins signing is a 3-year max. 3-year max. We get the most out of him we can in 3 years. And in that time, you hope that Achida Obi learns his trade, develops into that body of his, becomes a bigger guy, and then goes out there and takes the mantle as Manchester United's number 9. He would be 20 at that point. This is Watkins' stats. So 87 goals for Aston Villa, 42 assists. I like that, by the way. 49 goals. I've put that too small for Brentford and 15 assists. Then we have the extra city days. Watkins can play on the wings as well. Watkins can adapt. He can move. For me, this all comes down to price, people. This all comes down to money, money, money. Okay? This is the only conversation it's going to come down to. Because I firmly believe, I'll bring him back up in a second, I absolutely firmly believe that if you asked Ruben Amorim who he wanted up front of the players that are available, I absolutely 100% think he says Ollie Watkins. I absolutely think he says Ollie Watkins. Ollie Watkins does, as you can see, brings assists to his game. He's a striker, but he is also a player that brings other players into the game. Watkins and Moxie, you've just beat me to it. Watkins is absolutely what Manchester United need now. When you look at us as a club, and I want Sesko, I do. I'm not even going to hide it. I do want Sesko. I would love Sesko. However, Watkins, for where Manchester United are in their development, because we are a club in development. Don't let the Brian news fool you and think the glory days are back. Don't let Manchester United try and gloss over this as saying, that is a bomber. We are now ready to go and compete. We're not. We're absolutely not. And any Manchester United fan who thinks we are, really think about what you're saying. Ollie Watkins, at the price we'd probably get him for, which would probably be around 45, 50 million, at a push, 50 million. At 29 years old, is the guy that comes in and is the short-term fix with the most impact. Played in the Premier League for the last few years. He is the third highest goal scorer in the last 5 years and to be playing in the Premier League. He absolutely, to me, warrants the reason for us being interested. And that name hasn't gone away, by the way. For every Sesko comment, there's been Watkins. For every Jackson comment, there's been Watkins. For every Gyökeres comment, there's been Watkins. Okay? Ollie Watkins, it just seems to be simmering. Now, what gives me hope with this is the fact that Villa just don't seem to be doing anything. I know Villa fans may sit there and say, no, we're fine, we're kosher, we're fine. But it just looks to me like Watkins would be the money for them. It's pure profit. I kind of feel like Villa may be in that situation where they're looking to sell to bring players in. Because a club like Villa, who narrowly missed out on Champions League last season, are in the Europa League this season, to not do any business when, let's not forget, they've lost Rashford, who was on loan, Asensio, who was on loan. These were players to bring in, that they brought in to better them, to make them better, to help them compete for Champions League. Well, at the moment, you'd have to argue the point, are they actually going to be challenging for Champions League this season? Because we've seen Eddie Howe for Newcastle do a very good job on a very, very small budget. They've got the money. They just haven't been able to spend it. The guy didn't even make proper signings, did he? I mean, like, the early days were fine. Then it was, I think the boys that loaded Mag will tell you, I think it was 3 windows before they brought the Elanga deal in. So for us now, for Manchester United, Ollie Watkins is absolutely the striker that we go for now. Now, let me just go through some of these comments. I'm not neglecting you, I promise. It's because he uses his wife account, Ben. It is Andy, I promise. Rasmus really should not have been the #1 striker at one of the biggest clubs and biggest league. He shouldn't have. No, he absolutely shouldn't have. But we can't sit here and say that Rasmus hasn't had opportunities at Manchester United. He's absolutely had them. It's just not worked out. And unfortunately, look, Rasmus seems a really nice bloke. So I'm not gonna sit here and degrade his character. Seems like a really nice lad who genuinely wants to do well. Sometimes some transfers just don't work out. It's as simple as that. Now, there's nothing saying that we send him out on loan for a season. He goes out there, absolutely bangs, and we bring him back. There's nothing saying we don't do that. I don't think it's a full sale we'll get for him anyway. But I just feel like for the here and now, Rasmus Højlund is not what Manchester United need. Steve says, obviously, we're looking at performances down, but Sesko and Watkins have different temperaments and personalities. I completely agree with that, which is why I've given you sort of differing about the both there. In 3 years' time, we will have Kai Rooney scoring the goals for us. He'll be 17 now, money, but he's built like a brick shithouse, that lad, and he's a kid still. Watkins is exactly what we need right now. Sesko is a project. The price is definitely the decisive factor. And this is why I hope this is what deters us from doing the stupid thing in going for Jackson. Because if we utilise, and by the way, Chelsea aren't going anywhere. They keep talking about the interest in Garnacho. If Manchester United make the decision to do a swap, well, then Manchester United will have made the biggest mistake in the transfer window. Because I will sit here and say this right now, and I don't mind saying this. I would much rather Manchester United keep Garnacho than sign Nicholas Jackson. And you all know my thoughts on Garnacho. I think he's a spoiled little brat. A spoiled little brat that thinks he's got the world at his feet and he's got the number 7 Ronaldo on his back. But I would keep Garnacho over getting Jackson in a heartbeat. Absolutely. I would love Sesko or Ollie. They would be good. I agree, Jamie. Similar GNA to Sesko. Lucas says, I'm team Watkins, Sesko for United. Watkins is for the here and now. Sesko is too much of a risk. Amorim don't have time to develop Sesko. I would agree with that. I would absolutely agree with that. I see what you're saying there. We're not in a situation here where we can take it. I get that. Dan, as are us United fans patient? Can we wait a year or two to do what? Sorry, I'm sorry. Dan, are us United fans patient? Can we wait a year or two, or do we want things now? Well, the 3 transfers that we're looking at, that apparently, by the sounds of it, was always the plan for this season. We were never going to change the whole team in one transfer window. A, we haven't got any money. B, we're in the worst position we've ever been. And C, it would never work. You can't bring players in. I need to cough a second. I'm not going to do this on the mic. 2 seconds. Let me just mute. That's better. Sorry about that. We cannot and would have not brought in 8 or 9 players. It just doesn't work. You can't build a team to go on and try and claim for trophies like that. It doesn't work. United are doing it in the sensible way. Is it the way we all hope? No, but it is the sensible way. Michael says, wouldn't have Watkins and Brian work? Okay, that's what he's saying. Watkins and Brian work better for us, though. Well, technically, I don't know if they played together for long. I think it was only a couple of seasons. Sesko is much better for the style of play. Energy and closing down is another level. You won't get that from Watkins, whereas Watkins would be a better goal threat. Watkins does do pressing. I will say this about him. Watkins ain't no dud. He will go for it. Sure, Watkins wasn't happy towards the end of last season, so he could come, says Andy. Well, the reason that he wasn't happy was because of one reason. This guy. Yeah, not me. I wasn't there. Marcus Rashford there. Pointless signing for Villa. Nearly fucked everything up for him. Akko says 50 million for Watkins is not bad. We are still cleaning up Ten Hag's mess, and we will be for the next couple of years. The only thing I'm certain of is that Jackson for 80 to 100 million is a big fucking no-no. Correct. Absolutely correct. Moxie would rather buy Michael. I agree with that. Absolutely agree. So they'll use the instalment money for Watkins to help pay for Garnacho, maybe? I don't know. I think Garnacho's ending up at Chelsea, by the way. I just hope to fucking Christ that it isn't for a Jackson deal. There are reports that clubs see Garnacho being available for around 45 million. I would absolutely take that money and just go and chuck it on Watkins in a heartbeat, in an absolute heartbeat. Wahaha says, Rasmus has been here 2 years, started bad and regressed as time went by. And you can't deny that. You can't deny that. On the watch-along on Saturday, I was quite nice to him. I was quite nice about him. But when I watched it back, I looked and I thought, Rasmus, why are you running out on the fucking left-hand side? Rasmus, why are you making runs down to the right wing? You are a striker. You're a striker. Get yourself in amongst it. There was a couple of times where we had the ball on the wing, and I'm like, where the fuck's Rasmus? Razzie? Oh, he's at the back there. Need a striker. We need a striker that's main priority and first line of thinking is fucking goals. And he's a lower league. I'm praying you're talking about Rasmus there, mate. I'm praying. Paul says, if United sign Sesko, Amorim will not be the coach after this upcoming season. You've got me thinking there, Paul. What are we thinking, chat? What are we thinking? Is that a valid point? Is it a valid point? It's a good point. Is it valid? I agree with everything that a lot of people have said about Rasmus. He should never have been thrown in as our number one striker at 20 years old. It's way too much pressure for a player in a new league. Guys, do you remember the 20th of September? No, not that. Do you remember the conversation I had with you about Manchester United putting too much on young players and it affecting their career? The reason that Rasmus, this comment here says it, the reason that Rasmus, I think a big factor as to why Rasmus's development has been shocking is because we've overplayed him when we should have pulled him out of the firing line. I absolutely stand by that. Sometimes you can burn young players out and you can overplay them when they're out of form. A younger player out of form, it's all about confidence with youngsters. It is. We know this. It's absolutely about confidence. We've absolutely destroyed this lad's confidence. But I still don't think he's a United player. I don't think he's at the standard. Michael says, whatever players we bring in now have to hit the ground running because the board won't give Amorim much time before he is on the chopping block. We bring the right players in, Michael. I think we'll be fine. I absolutely think we'll be fine. Lucas says, who do you honestly believe United will sign, Dan? Not what you want, but what you think will happen. If I had to put my neck on the line here, my heart... No, do you know what? My heart and head, I genuinely feel like Ollie Watkins. I want Sesko because I think Sesko has got the ability to be a very, very good footballer. But for what we need now, my heart and head says that we will go for Watkins for the price he is as well. Considering Ornstein's release that we are looking at a goalkeeper, defensive midfielder and a striker, Watkins' value for money represents where Manchester United will go. But look, I'm married. I'm wrong all the fucking time, guys. Okay? That's just a Manchester United fan and his humble opinion. Is it Amy's or... I'm so sorry if I got that wrong, dude. Ames, I think it is. Ames Carlos TV. I hope you're well, my friend. Thank you for joining. And guys, if you are new, please make sure you hit the subscribe button and please just literally that little like button, hit that for me as well, people. That would be phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. I can see we've had a few subscribers tonight. That's fantastic. Andy says, can we talk about the midfield? We will talk about that shortly. Because we've got problems with the midfield, but we've also got a solution. The solution for the midfield is one player, Casemiro. Yeah, I said it. The solution for the midfield is Casemiro. I say that with chest. Not the solution you may think I'm talking about, though. I genuinely still believe there is a chance that Casemiro leaves this club before the end of the window. The reason I believe that is because, like I've said before, the comments Amorim made after the Leeds game where he said our midfield was too slow. It lacked pace. Look, we've all seen the pictures of Cassie, in the gym and we've seen them. Excellent props. If there is a sacrificial lamb at Manchester United, it's him. Wages are too high. 33, he'll be 34 before the end of the season. In what world are United playing a 34-year-old player 300 grand plus a week? It's another version of United when they were shite with how they did transfers. Well, listen to Xerxes. Xerxes safe for another season. Xerxes will stay for another season. I think, as we can all see here, Rasmus is the guy that they're going to get rid of, and I genuinely think Xerxes will be given the chance. He'll be a sub, but he'll come on. He'll get his chances. Yes, and remember, look at what this guy's saying here. It's me, Everest, one of the OGs, one of the mods. Make sure you are liking and subscribing, guys. MK Photography says, evening, mate. Loving the United shirt top channel, bud. Thank you very much, buddy. Really appreciate that. Really appreciate it. I'd love to see Garnacho go to Chelsea and become this season's Dewsbury Hall, and people will forget he's even there. There's at least 2 or 3 players ahead of him in his favoured left-wing spot. Absolutely. But for some reason, and there's nothing wrong with this, look, you've got to be able to back yourself as a footballer, as a person. It doesn't matter if you're working behind a bloody till at a shop, if you're shoveling shit on a farm, if you're a bus driver, if you're a postman, if you're a doctor, if you're an accountant, if you're a window cleaner. You've got to back yourself in the trade that you do, haven't you? Or else what's the fucking point? Garnacho backs himself. However, Garnacho is a little too much in backing himself because he thinks he's the new Ronaldo. I can't wait to see the back of him. Can't wait to see the back of him. Rasmus was signed because his last name was Højlund. Sounds close to Haaland. Do you remember some United fans got gassed about that, saying, "Oh, we got the next Haaland." Fucking how wrong could we be? Jamie says, hopefully the Rashford being off wage bill and hopefully Antony gone, we will buy. Yeah, I hope we buy Oli too. Xerxes starts, Sesko benched at the start. What is what I would do? Oh, not sure about that. It's me, Everest. Good night, mate. Take care. We did that with Cobby, and I think we overplayed him 2 seasons ago on last season at the start. I agree. 100% on Rasmus. Said it last week that Cunha and Brian in the side. I think we'll see a different player in him. Just a shame his time at United was in a poor side as he is likely to leave now. And I respect that. I respect people are going to support him. Look, that's what makes us some of the greatest fans in the world. We back our players. Absolutely back our players. Nothing wrong with that. Brian Cunha and Watkins, United shouldn't struggle with goals next season. All proven Premier League goal scorers and creative in their own ways. Chat, that front three of Cunha, Brian, and Watkins. I mean, that is what, 50 goals from last season? That, where would you rank that in the league? In the league of front threes, when you've got your Chelseas, your Arsenals, your Liverpools, your Cities, where would you rank that? Let's forget about the team. We're just talking about that as a front three. Where would you rank that in the Premier League? Be interested to know where you'd rank that. I think Ollie Watkins and Douglas Luiz, I always go to say David. Douglas Luiz would be good signing for us. Proven Premier League players who can come straight in and do a job. Casemiro to Saudi, definitely, it is. I genuinely feel like that is going to happen. I genuinely feel like that's going to happen. Could United go into the opening game of the season with Xerxes starting up top? If we don't bring the striker in time, yes, absolutely. Dorgu is doing fantastic, but if he could work on his delivery, and if Delo would pass the fucking ball, then we would do some things with a 30 million striker. We don't play for our strikers. Hope it changes. I disagree. Dorgu put the ball in the box loads last season. Højlund just ran the other way. It's not about pace. Cassie still schools our other midfielders with passing ability and how quickly he picks the passes. As seen in the Leeds game, Carrick and Scholesy weren't pacey but could pass him out of trouble. I just feel like, look, I get what you're saying, Wahaha, and you know something? You are absolutely right. He does school people with passing and his passion. But when we look at his wage and we look at his age, I'm not trying to rhyme, I think that's the sacrificial lamb, dude. Dan, do you think if the World Cup was in a month's time, we would have Brian and Cunha? Would you sell Bruno for 100 million? Yeah, I would have, definitely. Yeah. Oh, God. The fucking moth then. Terrified of moths. Watkins is on 130k a week at 29 years old. He will want a pay boost and at least 3 to 4 year contract. It sounds like a hit miss for me. Nick, I think he will go for a 3-year contract with a year extension on there. 3 years is what we need him for. If we pay him 150k, I've got no problem with that. He's a goal scorer. He's an absolute goal scorer. That's definitely a front three that any top 6 side would like. I agree with that. Andy says top 4. Ben says, I'd stick that down as second best top 3. Liverpool's being top, especially with them lining up a new striker too. Like that. The only issue with Casemiro is when he sees red too often. Well, his last red was because of fucking Onana, do you remember? Watkins, Mbeumo and Cunha, that's the start of a team that could get us 5th. Need to focus on getting the others right, lol. I agree. At least that, hang on, sorry, I nearly deleted your comment then. At least top 5 best front threes in the league, better than Chelsea. This is the thing, guys. This is what I'm saying. We were 2 weeks ago miserable in the doldrums. We were absolutely on the floor because United weren't doing anything. I said to you all, and I hate being right, but I said to you all, Brian was the constipation moment. The first domino. Once that domino fell, things were going to happen. And look what's happened. That domino's fallen. Rashford, by the way, let me just come to this a second. If anybody has not seen this or heard this already, Barcelona are struggling already to register Marcus Rashford. I'll say it again. Barcelona are struggling to register Manchester United forward, ex-Manchester United forward, Marcus Rashford. Fucking lol. Yeah? You talk about... This guy won't care, by the way. Rashford would happily sit out half a season and hopefully get in January, as long as he can walk around with his bloody Barca shirt on, as long as he gets to do selfies with Yamal, his idol. He won't care. But I just find it absolutely hilarious. Now, everyone said about Nico Williams, what have you done? What have you done? You do not reject Barcelona. My guy had a fucking plan. My guy knew exactly what was happening. My guy knew exactly what the fucking risks were signing for Barcelona. Barcelona apparently have to sell or loan somebody out to fit Marcus Rashford in. And also reports coming out that Lewandowski has said, hang on a minute, what, is he coming to try and replace me? What are we doing here? Rashford doing Rashford things. It reminds me of my mate Daz. My mate Daz, right, tells a story of when he was trying to get in badminton, trying to play badminton. He was shit at badminton. Daz will tell you himself he's shit at badminton. All he was doing it for was to get the free fucking tracksuit. He played one game, got absolutely spanked, never played again. And that is Marcus Rashford. He's signing so he can get the clobber, say, I've played for Barcelona. He doesn't care. He doesn't care. I just think it's fucking poetic that this guy who, oh God, just has been just my anger for so long, gets his dream move, puts all of the pictures up on fucking Instagram, playing cards on the plane, doing that, yeah, waving at the fans, woo! And Barcelona can't register him yet. And Barcelona, Beg FC, by the way, don't get me started on that fucking fraudulent club. Don't get me started on that club. Barcelona seem to get away with it year in, year out. They'll find a way to register him. They absolutely will. I don't know how they do it, but yeah, I just find that fucking phenomenal that Marcus Rashford gets his dream club only to be told at the moment, look, Marcus, just sit down for a bit, mate. We'll call you when we've got you registered. When I was 15, I lied about my age. Hang on, this story sounds like it's going the wrong way. It isn't. It's football, I promise. I lied about my age when I was 15, and the manager, this was for Sunday League men's football, the manager knew that I lied about my age because he knew people who knew me. He told me for weeks on weeks on weeks, oh, your signing on form's not done yet. It's not done yet. He waited until I was old enough to play, which was 16, before I could play. Marcus Rashford, World Cup year, this is absolutely fucking brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. I love it. I love it. I fucking love it. Let's go through some of the comments. I really hope we don't sell Garnacho to a Premier League club. I think you mean there. I see what you're saying, but he doesn't want to go anywhere else. The way Amorim wants United to play, Cassie hasn't got the legs to do it. Agree his passing's good, and he's great in the box on set pieces, but on the wage, he's got to be moved on, and I follow that. Yeah, but 3 seasons ago, he screwed us big time after we just caught up with Arsenal, got banned for the Arsenal game, and then again immediately after coming back. Are we talking about Cassie and his red cards there? Free school dinners for Barcelona kids. Yeah, well, that's it. Look, but Rashi, if you're bored, go to one of the schools, mate. Go to one of the schools and help out there. And do you know something? The Crystal Palace one will always fuck me off, though. Do you remember when Cassie got sent off against Crystal Palace with Will Hughes? Was never a sending off. Never a sending off. And you were right, Andy. You absolutely were right. Right, there we go. Prem team, as I feel he'd run rings around us when he plays. I'd like to think not. Ben, completely right there. 42 likes, 714 subs. Great support for Dan and the great shows. Keep showing the love. Hit them likes and subscribe if you haven't already. What a guy. What a guy that man is. Where is he? There you go, Ben. Absolutely deserved as well, mate. Absolutely deserved, buddy. Oz81, I don't know if you're a newbie, mate. If you are, welcome to the channel. High energy midfield is a must. And look, Manchester United, for all the positivity that we're sat here and we're spraying about who we're going for, we dropped the fucking ball with Rios. Richard Rios was the midfielder that would have come in and done something for Manchester United. Okay? Richard Rios would have absolutely come in and been a player that would have done bits in that midfield. At the right age, the position that we're looking for, had a brilliant Club World Cup, went to fucking Benfica for 26 mil. That's just shocking. That's just shocking. That was an easy win. And I will say this, for all the positivity around the people we are linked with, I still wouldn't be surprised at all if Ndidi ends up at United. For all the positivity, I wouldn't be surprised if we went for an Ndidi. Keep an eye on that transfer. That could still happen. That absolutely could still happen. And Moxie says, as Ben says, hit those likes if you haven't done already. Please subscribe. Yes, guys, we are on the road to 1K. It is 4 weeks to the day that we started this channel, and the 1K is massively in sight. And it is because of people like this guy. It is because of people like you people. It's because of the subs that I have. It's because of everybody that comes on here and has a proper football conversation. This is why this community is growing, and long may it continue. Yes, Kev, hope you are well, my friend. Evening. What was it tonight? Was it rum and mince tonight, or did you have something else? Inside joke. So, the other bits as well, I do have some bad news. I have some bad news. David Ornstein has been an absolute revelation for Manchester United, to the point, honestly, if he gets the next 3 signings right, I'm getting him tattooed here. I'm not, by the way, that's a joke. He has come out today and said that the reports of Manchester United being close to selling Sancho to Juventus are wrong. They're wrong, apparently. He doesn't know where that's coming from. They're nowhere near an agreement. Now, this could be smoke and mirrors. This could be Sancho's agents hoping that another club will come in to try and jump that up a little bit. This could be Manchester United putting it out there like Sporting Lisbon did to try and generate more interest so that Juve pay the money. But as it stands, Jadon Sancho, Antony, Malacia and Garnacho are the 4 players that we need out the club. 4. And they will not be taken on tour tomorrow, by the way. And we spoke about this last night. We spoke about this and how important it was that Manchester United did the right thing here and didn't take them. Manchester United have stood by that. I fully expect us to get rid of these players. The only one that I think will drag on the most is Garnacho. Garnacho, for me, could go right until the end of the transfer window. Yes, I did see that. I'm quite glad about that because I think our left's fine. Yeah, I think that's the only transfer that could drag on. The other one that will be the late one will be Rasmus Højlund. I honestly, completely, with all my chest out, say that Rasmus Højlund will go to Italy on loan before the end of the window. But other than that, those 4 players, we need them out the club. Sancho, I still think that happens relatively soon. Antony, as we all know, there is interest now from Atletico Madrid. That is going to be a bidding war. It would be interesting, right? Because if I'm Real Betis, I'm sat there chilling. I'm like this. Oh. Antony linked to Atletico. Nah, fucking no chance. No chance. I think Antony chooses Atletico Madrid over Real Betis, regardless of the fact that he went there and they gave him his shot and he, did great things there, and they were epic in making him the better player that he was, bringing him back to form. Atletico Madrid, Simeone, I think Antony chooses them. I genuinely do. And it would be Real Betis' fault, by the way. Real Betis have known what the price is for Antony. Antony has said long before that he would willing to take the pay cut. Betis could miss out on him. It's good for Manchester United, by the way, because the more people that are interested in our players, the quicker we show them fucking out the door. But I potentially see him going to Atletico Madrid. And then Malacia, bless his heart, Malacia. I was quite rude about Malacia last night, and I apologise for that. But Malacia, no one wants him. And that's such a shame. How old's Malacia? What, 24, 25, maybe 26? There is nobody really expressing interest. You've got some of the so-called in-the-knows that are coming out saying, oh, well, he's wanted in Europe by Italian sides, by Turkish sides. But at present, nobody has asked about him. And that's a shame because he strikes me as a nice bloke. Been unlucky with injuries, but he's another one that I think will be a backdoor exit. I genuinely do. I think one day you'll just see on Twitter, here we go, Malacia to FC Copenhagen, something like that. There's no teams that really want him, and that's a shame. That is a shame. I do feel for him. What else have we got here? Actually saw something about being in preliminary discussions with Ndidi's representatives. There we go. See, I'm telling you that. Don't sleep on that deal. Don't sleep on that deal. Who do we want as double pivot? Ugarte, Kobe. Are you saying out of them two, Andy? Because out of them two, I really want to give Kobe a chance. I do, but I think Ugarte at the moment. Before Onana went to Villa, I would have liked him in centre midfield. Do you know something, though? The Onana at Villa, I love that video of him. That's not even my name, mate. I love that fucking video. I watched a lot of Onana last season at Villa, and do you know what? I noticed? That guy hardly ever finished a game. He'd go off injured all the time. So, again, I think he would be someone that we would have to pay ridiculous amounts for. How much did he go to Villa for? Was it 60 mil? 50, 60 mil? No, not for me. Not for me. Chad, hope you're well. I think you may be a newbie. Manchester United will sign Sesko from Leipzig. I hope United will get him because Sesko scores goals for United next season. Manchester United 2025-2026. Fair point. Fair point. Apparently, Højlund wanted by Juventus. Steve, this is what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying. He'll end up in Italy. He will absolutely end up in Italy. That's who okay, I see what you're saying. Moxie. I genuinely think, well, you've said it yourself there. Bruno, it will be Bruno and one other midfielder. That's just the way it is, isn't it? Just the way it is. We're all still waiting for Betis to empty their penny jars to afford him. Yep. I mean, they haven't even done the GoFundMe page yet. Moxie, don't see where Bruno fits in. Centre mid. Honestly, Andy, it'll be centre mid. He'll die on that sword as well. Lives in Barbados. Come top. Chad thinks we finish top 4 next season. I absolutely love that. I love that. That is confidence, that is belief, and that is something we've been lacking for a while. So, Chad, don't let anybody tell you otherwise. There's nothing wrong with saying that. Lucas says, just another injury-prone player at United. Seems like a lovely guy, but missing the whole of 23-24 will affect his whole career. Well, that's it, isn't it? We can't be that club that has hangers-on anymore, and we still have a few of them. Luke Shaw won't go this season without an injury. If Luke Shaw, you can clip this up, if Luke Shaw goes the entire season without injury, I will wear a Salah shirt for the next United Liverpool game. I'll wear a Liverpool Salah shirt. That's how confident I am. He will not go a whole season without being injured. And that is where we go by definition of a hanger-on. What are we saying here? Yeah, I think you do really well in that, actually. In which role's that, Ben? Which one's that, mate? Are you talking about the double pivot? And yes, guys, as Moxie says here, welcome to our little community chat. Remember to like and subscribe. 73 in the house. Let's see if we can get to 50 likes tonight. In fact, chat, let me know if we are at 50 likes already. Barcelona can't register Rashford. Yes, if you've just tuned in, Rashford has got major issues at Barcelona. He's gone all the way there, bless him, on that plane, and they can't register him. Absolutely fucking brilliant. James Breen says, Sesko next 8 years. Watkins 3 years, no baller. There's arguments. I tell you what, we've had this chat though, haven't we? We've had this vote. We have had this vote about Sesko or Watkins. It's. I think for the now, it's Ollie Watkins. Look at the stats again. Look at the stats. 87 in 223 for Villa, 42 assists. Brentford score goals for Brentford in the Prem. I genuinely feel like this guy is the one that we go for. I genuinely feel like this guy is the guy we go for. What else did I have for you today? Did I have anything else? I didn't have anything else. I thought I had some pictures there for you. I don't. Not like that. Not like that. Not like that. Fuck me, I'm saying stuff. What's wrong with me tonight? And thank you, Niche fan. Appreciate that, mate. One more for 50 likes. Who's going to be the one to get the 50th? Manchester United loan out younger strikers. Yes, they have. Enzo Canabiak, he has gone there. Played in his first game from, didn't he? I don't know how he got on. I don't know if he scored. Does anyone know that? And if he did? Andy says, I'm pissing my pants on Rashford and Barcelona. Me too, bro. Me too. Is that a problem for us about Rashford or Barca? Absolutely not. Absolutely not, right? Let me tell you this right now, Jordan. Yeah? Let me tell you this right now. Barcelona would have to pay us to send him back. Imagine the embarrassment that Rashford would have if literally Barcelona went, United, Sir Jim, yep, Sir Jim, there's a problem. We can't register him, mate. Can we send him back? Can we send him back to Manchester? Can we do that? Right. Okay. Yeah. Marcus, we're sending you back, pal. We're sending you back. That's the way, isn't it? That is absolutely the way it would go. That's absolutely the way it would go. I would love that. I would love that. I got nothing against Marcus Rashford, but for all the fucking twerking, I would be absolutely buzzing to see that guy be sent back to us because they can't put him in there. LB Raid, thank you very much, LB. Hope you're all well. Liverpool, not Liverpool, that's a ridiculous thing to say. City fans, hope you are all well. Hope you are all well. Be interested to know with the City fans that have raided, what are your thoughts on the title this season? With Liverpool doing what they're doing and Arsenal potentially doing what they're doing, Chelsea bringing the players in, do Manchester City worry that this is a step too far for them to try and get that title back? Be interested to know that, guys. If you're new, make sure you subscribe and let me know what your thoughts are. And we've just hit 53 likes. That's fantastic, guys. Absolutely fantastic. Absolutely phenomenal, guys. Phenomenal. Let's try and hit 720. That would be great before the night is out. Liverpool says, citizens, what about Robert Mueller on a free agent? He could help. Look, honestly, niche fan. Sorry, I put your comment down there. And Al Joy says we'll win the league. Fair. We have to, as a football club, Manchester United have made so many mistakes in the past. The Rasmus Højlund conversation now with us going for a new striker has to be done. It has to be done. He's a nice guy. He seems a lovely bloke. Yeah? I work with a bloke called Owen. Lovely bloke. Would I sign him up for Manchester United? Absolutely not. We have got it wrong far too many times in the transfer window. We are now looking at the potential of Sesko, Watkins. I'm not even going to say the J word, but Jackson is the other one. Manchester United, if we're going to move forward and challenge for Europe, then we have to make these tough decisions. We have to absolutely make these tough decisions. And unfortunately, there are occasions where you have to make the sacrificial lambs. Rasmus Højlund will be a sacrificial lamb if we get a striker. Absolutely. Casemiro, if we're serious about going out there and getting a central midfielder, a CDM that can come in and do something and provide energy, he will be a sacrificial lamb. Malacia, nothing wrong with the bloke. Nice guy. Sacrificial lamb. Then you've got the martyrs, which is Sancho, Garnacho, Rashford, and Antony. Off you go. If we get rid of these players, Manchester United will have seen an outgoing of the following players. Let's think about this. Evans, Lindelof, Eriksen, Rashford. Then you look at the other ones, okay? You look at Antony, Sancho, Garnacho, Højlund, Casemiro. If we can get them done, that's 9 players. 9 players. That is, when you talk about us having the squad we had last season and it being fucking embarrassing, and let's say it as it is, United fans, it was fucking embarrassing. We have to get rid of the rot, and we have to bring the newbies in. We have to bring the newbies in. Arsenal ain't going to win anything. Don't worry, City. Watkins reminds me of Andy Cole. Needs a few chances to score, but Coley got a lot of goals for us. People sleep on Andy Cole. I tell you what, Andy Cole's one of the top scorers in the Premier League. And people, honestly, the disrespect that guy gets, it fucking infuriates me, that does. And Chelsea to be back, fair enough. Liverpool, but we've got a really good chance if we get a proper right back and if traffic clicks in. Honestly, I think Newcastle will be fuming with you guys, and it's just mad, isn't it? What's mad, City fans? I will say this to you all: Edison for 3 million. I watched LB's stream, and Edison for 3 million. That surely not, man. Surely not. Oh no, LB's whole hopefuls are raiding. Welcome, City fans. Hit them likes. Football community always first. Sal Bruno, he doesn't even fit the system. 93-20 citizens, right? There is going to have to be a conversation, and I will say this. I'm happy enough to say this. There is going to have to be a conversation about Bruno very, very soon. Okay? There is going to have to be a conversation for whether or not Bruno's time at Manchester United is done. Simple as that. We are looking at there being a whole change in the way we play football, with the sense of bringing in Cunha, bringing in Mbeumo, pushing them as our 10s. Bruno is no longer going to be that 10 unless he needs to fill in for injuries, things like that. Bruno needs legs next to him, because we saw in the Leeds game, Bruno looks like he's still going to have that free roaming position. Well, if you have a free roaming midfielder of a midfield 2, and you have someone like Casemiro who doesn't have the legs to cover the job or two, Manchester United will get absolutely torn to pieces early on. Amorim will have to make a decision very, very soon about it. Look, stranger things have happened. He could end up being okay. He could get it. He could go through the season and we could go, fuck me, Bruno actually did it. He's a deep lying playmaker. He's sitting in that position. He's utilising the fact he's got a great passing ability. We're doing okay. But if it does fail, the question is always going to be placed on the board, on Amorim, on Manchester United, as to whether they should have accepted that bid. But that's football. We don't have a fucking mystic fucking ball. We don't have a mystic ball. If we had a mystic ball, then I'd have smashed my TV up last season. I'd have stopped going to games and watching what we watched last season. But unfortunately, we don't. If Rashi can't get registered, what happens then? Well, he'll have to wait until they can register him, Antony, unfortunately. Antony, I don't know which one it is. Sorry, bud. He doesn't care, though. He's got the free tracksuit. He's going to be sat with Yamal. He's chilling. That guy doesn't give a fuck. Al Joy says, let's be real. Amorim won't survive the Christmas, but we want him to stay. You lot do, of course. Fair enough. Let's just go for Ollie Watkins. Telling you, that's what we need to do. That's what we need to do. LB Raid, thank you very much. Collier will go out on loan. Collier, I don't think has a future at Manchester United. I'm going to be real. Another one we talk about, sacrificial lambs. Collier is 21. I thought he was younger. If he was 18, I'd be looking at him saying, yeah, do you know what? He did okay and he's got potential. When you look at the other players coming through like a Kone, I think Collier, I don't think Collier stays at United. It wouldn't surprise me if in the next 18 months he's playing for Everton or Bournemouth or Brighton. Well, I think he was at Brighton originally. I don't see Collier staying at United. Yes, 4K, AK4P. Well done. Hope you're well, mate. Hope you're well. Dan United, how many strikers Manchester United will sign how many strikers Manchester United will sign 2 or 3 in transfer windows? We'll sign 1 this transfer window, and then we'll see where we go. Casemiro can't be a starter next season. We have to move him on. We have to, Kev. We do. We absolutely have to move him on. It's either 3 million or he leaves for free next season. I would take Edison for 3 million, no problem at all. Fuck me. Imagine if Edison, I mean, look, it's never going to happen. Imagine the uproar. Imagine the uproar. I've got the perfect way to sign Edison, by the way. I can sign Edison for Manchester United in 1 phone call. 1 phone call. Yeah, I'll say it. Scotty Carson. How are you, brother? Yeah. Yeah, we want you to bring Edison with you to your not Scotty. Scott. Might take more than 1 phone call. Fuck him. We should have sold Bruno to Al. Yeah, I'm starting to drift towards that myself. Edison needs a new challenge. His head's not been in the game for a while. If you sell Bruno, you will get a better squad with the money. Can't even blame Amorim. He ain't even getting the players he wants for the system. Destroyed City with Sporting. Absolute facts. The transfer window's not over yet. The transfer, we've still got just less than a month before the first game of the season. I have faith that we will still bring a few more players in, and it'll be in. I always said that let me look at this squad at the end of July. Let me look at this squad at the end of July and at the end of pre-season to see where we are. Bruno going, the boat has gone on that one. No chance. Him in another position, he needs to be chained to his area. I think there's a world where they come back in for him in January. If it's not going well for him, United, and he's not getting played, don't be surprised if they come back in for him in January. I absolutely think they will. Absolutely think they will. Problem is, additional players like Højlund, Onana, Casemiro are still in the squad and being paid very well. Difficult to move everyone on. Højlund's not being paid great, though, is he? I think Højlund's on, 50k, 60k? I mean, it's a fucking lot, of course, but he's not on the big bucks, I don't think. Chat, how much is Højlund on? How much is Højlund on? I think he's on maybe 70 at a push. Bruno and Casemiro not good enough, just too slow, as the manager said. Honestly, guys, Andy, everyone, people, if you're new, make sure you're subscribing. We're trying to get those figures up as quick as we can. If Manchester United start the season with Bruno and Casemiro, we will fall away quicker than fucking Kerry Katona at a fucking drug addiction clinic, okay? We will quit quicker than fucking she did. We will quit quicker than fucking Katie Price quit fucking being bankrupt. We will quit quicker than every fucker. We will be abysmal. In fact, look, I'm bringing the mic up. His palms are sweaty. No, that's not the right one. Manchester United, if we start with Casemiro and Bruno Fernandes in that midfield, we will be going down, 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 down. Simple as that. You have to be realists. You have to be realists. We cannot do that. We just can't. Honestly, think Ruben wanted to keep Bruno to help attract new players. Would Cunha and Brian have joined if Bruno would have left? Well, look, if you listen to what Brian and Cunha said, they absolutely wanted Manchester United, so I think they still would have come. Can't wait to see Kone. Honestly, Andy, I can't wait to see this guy get some minutes in pre-season. I can't wait. This kid's going to be quality. September the 1st until transfer deadline day, a lot can and will happen. Absolutely. I still think it will be United's outgoings that will drag on until the end, though. Yes, Ryan, my Telford brother, hope you are well, my friend. Hope you are well. And 80 grand for Højlund, is it? 85k, some saying 85. Yeah, it's a lot of money. But it's in the grand scheme of things, it isn't. Why don't United fans like Højlund? I know he can't score, but it doesn't really get the passes and runs. It's not that we don't like him, 93-20 citizens. Hang on. I had a banging Pepe's for tea, and it's all sat right fucking there. Ryan will know what I'm talking about. Ryan G will know what I'm talking about with Pepe's. Oh. Manchester United fans don't hate Højlund. We just look at him as a player that isn't the guy to take our front line and score the goals. I find it hilarious that rival fans even ask this. I mean, like, you guys banter us about Højlund all the time. I can't think of a stream I haven't been on where we haven't been bantered about Højlund. It's the cool thing to do. We all know Højlund isn't good enough. He come to us and everyone said this kid's going to be an absolute baller. It just hasn't worked out. It just hasn't worked out. And look, it happens. It absolutely happens. That's football. Sometimes in life, things don't work out, okay? Kelly Bowkett in year 6, her and I, dumped me to Blame It on the Weatherman by Bewitched. Didn't work out. Didn't work out. It just happens. It just fucking happens. Bruno could be moved away for double pivot to closer to, I don't know, Milton. I don't see it. I don't see it. I just don't. And yeah, see, my guy knows. My guy knows. Honestly, I had half a chicken. It was banging. Casemiro no legs and Bruno wandering off will be a pushover. Honestly, Casemiro with no legs, Bruno wandering off. Can you imagine Yoro, fucking Maguire, and let's say Heaven? We'll need fucking divine intervention from up there. I tell you, they're gonna be like, what the fuck? It's okay. We've got fucking Alanana. We still got enough. For fuck's sake. Boys, it's going to be a long season. It's going to be a long season. Bruno, false 9, number 9, still... false number 9, still not quick enough. No. But then, look, Manchester United, do we then fall into the realms of trying to fit Bruno into the formation? Everyone from when we signed this manager... I'm not picking my nose ring that if I... Everyone, when we signed this manager, had the same opinion. Where is Bruno going to fit into this equation? Does Bruno fit into the formation? I don't see it at the moment. He did well for us last season, but then he was the best of an absolutely horrendous bunch. Manchester United last season, I could have looked decent in that team. Okay, and I stopped playing 5 years ago. Niche fan says, completely agree with Casemiro and Bruno doesn't work. We have to use Ugarte. Ugarte has to get it right this season. Absolutely does. United should buy Onana. He ain't starting over camera. It'd be too much money though, mate. Be too much money. United are still on a budget, apparently. I think we've got money, but we won't go out there and make that signing. Ugarte is the only one with the engine currently in the squad to do that job. There we have it. There we have it. Look, this is going to divide a lot of opinions for a very, very, very long time. Now, guys, quickly, I've just checked the chat. We are 25 away from hitting 750 subs. Now, everybody who's in here, I can see 138 watching. It takes 2 seconds. Hit that subscribe button for me, guys. We're trying to make madness here. This is a football community that is rising, and we're doing everything right. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Help this channel grow to what it can be. Absolutely would adore each and every one of you if you could do so. We are certainly doing our best to catch up with the other big boys, but we're always going to need that bit of help and support from you all. So if you are new, if you've just missed it, in fact, this is it. Look at this. Look at this. Richard Rios. In fact, before I continue, look at this, right? This is it. So Richard Rios is gone, mate. He's in Benfica. Paulinho, Manchester United fans, would you like Paulinho? I don't. I just think he's too old. There is 140 watching in this chat. 140. Give me a midfielder that fits into Manchester United's number 6 role. A midfielder that can go in there and do the job of covering a Bruno Fernandes, of covering when people push forward. Give me that midfielder. And it has to be a player that you think could go to Manchester United. We can't go out there and say Rodri. Yeah, Rodri, we'll get Rodri. Or Tchouameni. Give me a player. Give me a player that fits in that midfield for Manchester United. I'd be interested to see exactly who you go for here because I am... Oh, fucking Andre. Ryan, I tell you something, mate. Andre, no, I wasn't laughing at that, mate. What I was going to say, Andre is a Football Manager fucking hero for me. I signed him on Football Manager. I fucking love that guy. Absolutely fucking love that guy. He's a fucking genius. Douglas Luiz, this is my guy. This is absolutely my guy. Go out there, Manchester United, and pay the 30 million and bring in a Douglas Luiz. If there is worries about the whole Sancho situation, go out there and offer Sancho and some money and bring Douglas Luiz in. Because, here we go. Let's just do this for a laugh. Start a poll. Simple question. Douglas. I'm not even fucking typing, guys. You can tell it's been a long day, can't you? Fucking hell. Douglas Luiz or Ndidi? Luiz. Ndidi. Right, guys, chat. The poll started. Simple question. Simple. And yeah, he is. He's fucking class. Absolutely class. Put Bruno striker as someone who can bring Brian and Cunha with the flicks. I just don't think he's the guy, though, dude. Over 135 watching, only 63 likes. Yeah, hit those likes up, people. Hit those likes up. Agree with Moxie, Douglas Luiz. Niche fan says Douglas Luiz. We need Wharton from Palace. Gives me Carrot vibes. Liam, in an ideal world, I'm telling you now, Manchester United should be all over Wharton. I still think, by the way, City end up going for him. I think City, I would be amazed if City don't go and get him. But Manchester United can't afford Wharton because unless he's got a release clause, let's Google that. Does Adam Wharton have a release clause? No, there's no release clause. He's got 4 years left on his contract as well. Let me tell you this, chap. Anybody going for Wharton, you are going to be paying more than 70 mil. It's going to be like 80, 90, maybe even 100. Douglas Luiz says, Andy, Wharton too expensive. There aren't any other realistic options. I can name fancy players, but what's the point? It has to be Douglas. Realism. Nothing wrong with that. Steve says Declan Rice. Fucking hell. I bet he's so glad he didn't sign for us. How about Fellaini 2.0? Thomas Suchek, 90 million. Fucking hell. Fucking hell. It's just, do you know something? Wahaha. I just want to see if there's anybody who's a United fan that puts in Ndidi. I just want to see if we're talking about the cheap sign in there. That's all it is. And Nathan says, Hjulmand, yeah, Hjulmand is great, but Hjulmand is another one that City are linked with. Hjulmand is another one that City are linked with. I think he's got a release clause of, 70 million? If United go out and got... Right, let me say this now. Okay, let's live in dream world for a second. Fuck it. It's 10:15. Fuck it. Let's go dream world. Hjulmand for Manchester United, for a player that has played in the system that we play, would be a phenomenal signing. He would be the answer to our prayers. Of course he would. There's no way it's happening. No way it's happening. There's no way. No way. There's no way it's happening. There's no way. There's just no way. I would love him, Nathan. I would absolutely love him, brother. But no, it's not going to happen. Luis all day, but indeed he wouldn't put me off. Okay. Andy there saying he wouldn't put him off. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that at all. Nothing wrong with that at all. Guys, we need 21 subscribers. 21 subscribers to hit 750. There's 141 watching. Help a guy out. Hit that subscribe button for me. It's nice and simple. Just hit it for me. That would be fantastic. Angelo still is not a bad shout. I think he's 40 mil, is he? Is it? Yeah, there you go. Ryan says 40 mil release clause. Not a bad shape. Not a bad shape. Too expensive. I take McGinn from Villa. I think he's too old now, Liam. Good player. Good player. He was a great player 3 years ago. I'd like Cardoza, but he's gone to Atleti. How much did he go for? Wahaha, was that 30 million as well? I think that was only 30 million. Lucas says bring Scholes out of retirement again. Let's not do that to the poor guy. Let's not do that to the poor guy. If it's Dreamworld, I want Wharton all day long. And yeah, look, we said Dreamworld, but that's just not going to happen. Makes sense with Louise. They seem to be involved in Rasmus and Garnacho as well. But there's also a dealing with a couple of signings at the moment. Look, Manchester United, as I've said before several times, we are so inept when it comes to doing signings, multiple signings at once. Manchester United can't go out there like other clubs do and go, right, we're going to go for him and him. Right. Okay. You go get the striker. I'll get the midfielder. They're like, no. We got to go together. We got to go together and get the striker together. Then when we got the striker, we can go and talk to the midfielder. Just go out there and fucking do the job. Do you know what I mean? These people are meant to be paid the best money because they're the best at their job. So go out there and do it. Do you know what I mean? And again, I keep saying this. If I see any photos of Wilcox, Barada, Sir Jim, or fucking Vivell in Florida, I will hit the fucking roof. I will hit the roof. They need to be staying and sorting this mess out and sorting the sales out and sorting the signings out. We don't want them anywhere near. I don't want to see them going loco down in Acapulco. I don't want to see them on Muscleman Beach like this together. Oh, you fucking that, Barada. I don't want to see that. I don't want to see them walking around hand in hand in Disney fucking land. I want to see them doing their job that they're paid to do. I want to see them going and getting the signings sorted. I want to see them going and getting the fucking players that don't belong here out the club. Simple. God, it gets me stressed. Fucking boiling now. I'm quite partial to a moan, aren't I, guys? Quite partial to a moan every now and then. Oh, right then, guys. What time? It's 10:20. Love Island's definitely finished. I'll be in fucking trouble. Tomorrow we go out on tour. Manchester United go out on tour tomorrow. I can't wait for this. We've got our first leg of the tour. By the way, quick one actually. Doesn't this show how different Manchester United are in spots at the moment? Do you remember the days where we'd go and play Real Madrid, Barcelona, Milan, teams like that for pre-season friendlies in America? It's like we've been downgraded. It's like we've been downgraded. Do you remember when you play FIFA or EA Sports, whatever you call it now? And like your pre-season, you'd have the choice of the free cups. Normally, the ones with the hardest teams, you'd get the more money for, and you'd always choose the one with the shit teams because you'd still get decent money, but you didn't get absolutely hammered. That's United now. Our pre-season consists of Bournemouth, West Ham, and Everton. That's not a dig at West Ham before you say, Lucas. What I'm saying is Manchester United don't seem to have any interest in playing these top elite teams anymore. I mean, we got Fiorentina when we get back. That's because it's a good buy for fucking De Gea. Fucking mental, man. Fucking mental. Hearing the name Humans, yeah, I just can't see it. Just can't see it. Realistic Douglas, but I'd like Camavinga. Fucking hell, imagine if we got Camavinga. We were interested in him a few years ago. We were absolutely interested in him a few years ago. And sitting next to him, Buemo, smiling, Wilcox, Invisible Man. 25 mil was it? Well, fuck me. That's another one. I mean, look at that. You could have got him and Rios for 51 million. Fuck. That's a joke. That's a joke. Yeah, Thomas, exactly. Do you think Newcastle would sell Tonali? Newcastle don't have to sell anyone. Newcastle don't have to sell anyone. You'd have to pay a fucking massive... You would have to pay a massive fee just to sign the car parking attendant from there. They don't need to sell. They don't need to sell. And yes, as Ryan says, let's get me to 750. That would be absolutely mint, guys. Luis Sesko and literally any keeper. To be fair, look, the goalkeepers wise, before we go, the goalkeepers wise, it's 3, isn't it? We're linked to 3. The Emi Martinez stories keep rumbling on and on and on and on and on. You've got John Victor, who I think we should go for the money it is as well. And then we got Lamens as well, which is the Royal Antwerp goalkeeper. Manchester United will absolutely buy a goalkeeper. It's just, this is why I don't think it will be Emi Martinez, because I think they'll bring a goalkeeper in like a John Victor, like a Lamens, who they can bring in alongside an Arna instead of having that big club mentality. If I was United, right, I honestly, I mean this now with every part of my body. When they're all getting to walk onto that fucking plane to go to America, and an Arna steps up and he's got his fucking earphones in and he's fucking all smiley. Hey, I'm playing for United. This is fucking amazing. You know, he's got his fucking hat on backwards. He's the cool guy and he's there with his passport. I'd be like, thank you. Take that fucking stupid hat off. What are you doing? I'm going to America. And Arnie, you're not, mate. You're not. Did you not? Have you not heard the news, mate? We're selling you. That's what Manchester United should do. Look at my hair now. That's what Manchester United should do. But we won't. And again, we talk about Roy Keane's trade because he's a nice guy. He's a nice guy. Fucking awful goalkeeper. But again, we just don't have that big club mentality, and that's the problem. We have downgraded thanks to the Glazers. Absolutely fact. Keep hitting them likes and subscribe if you haven't already, people. It means the world to me. Andy says, as you said, Dan, we're not a big club anymore. We haven't been a big club for a long time, mate. Big club in reputation. Big club in name, but not in reputation, unfortunately. Brian Mbuemo and Cunha score for United next season. How many goals? Between them, I think there's a chance that they could get... Do you know something? I'm going to go for it. Brian and Cunha will score 60 goals between them next season. I'm joking, of course. I'm joking. If we got 35 goals between them, I would, like what they did last season, I'd be happy with that. Of course I would. There is going to be some people that think there is going to be some people that will have switched off to that. They'll be going, fuck off. He hasn't got... What the fucking... Dan United said 60 got... Fuck off. No, I think 35 would be a nice round number for him. I really do. Lamens, Louise and Watkins, says Milton. Not a problem with that. Well, as always, it's been a good crack tonight, folks. Brian Brigade, oot. Take care, Moxie. See you tomorrow, mate. You're funny as. I do try. It's all a bit of banter in it. It's always a bit of banter. Night, everyone. Brian Brigade, now officially oot. That's a fucking moth again. Did you see that? Honestly, moths. Oh, I tell you. They terrify me. They fucking terrify me, these things. I'd say 40, says Niche Fan. Fucking hell. Did you see the size of that thing? To be fair, I loved Onana last season, wanting to play pre-season, and AFCON was dedicated. No, he wasn't dedicated. He just didn't want to miss out on playing for United because he was desperate. I fucking swear there's a moth. Because he was absolutely desperate to not lose his place. He should have known he wouldn't have lost his place. He had to be in there. Love your fun energy, Dan. Goes way too fast. Great community as well. Have a great evening, whatever you do. You too, Steve. Take care, my friend. Take care. Manchester United will win a trophy next season. Let's hope so. Manessa says we need Sesko, not Gyökeres. Watkins is what I want. Milton, that's what I think. Cunha scored 15 at Wolves whilst missing a fair few games, and none of them were pens. People forget this, as we didn't get a penalty once last season. No. Do you remember the one you should have got against us, Ryan? Fuck me when Onana absolutely... Was it Dawson he come and clattered? Fucking, honestly, just clattered him. No, you didn't get a penalty. You didn't. Ruben Amorim win a trophy for United next season. We certainly hope so. Night Pal, top show. Watched it, mate. Honestly, don't say that because I'll be like, fuck yeah, you fuck. Nice one, MK Photography. And they are, honestly, they're a nightmare. Niche fan says, Moff's a little jerks. Couldn't agree more. Dan United, have a good evening. Yes, thank you very much. And you too, mate. And you too. Andy, take care, mate. And is it a Rashford Moff? It's fucking something. Guys, for the fucking fear of being hit by a Moff again, I thought it was that. I'm going. It's been a fantastic night. Thank you for sticking with all the way through. If you're watching this on replay, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. I'm off before a Moff comes and eats me. I will see you all tomorrow at 9 p.m. Dan United, Brian Brigade, here we fucking go. Oota! Mic drop. Boom!